You know what's crazy? Right now, there are still people out there selling real classic American cars for prices that honestly feel way too low for what you're getting. And today, we found everything from a Chevrolet Bel Air, Chevrolet El Camino, Corvette Roadster, Pontiac GTO, plus one Chevrolet Chevelle SS. Let's check these out. Car number 1, 1958 Chevrolet Bel Air, $32,500, Suffolk, Virginia. Now this next one completely changes the vibe, because this 1958 Chevrolet Bel Air looks like pure American Chrome-era excess in the best possible way. The late 50s were absolutely wild for car design in America. Manufacturers were obsessed with giant tail fins, jet-age styling, dramatic chrome trim, and interiors that looked like something straight out of a diner or a jukebox advertisement. And the 58 Bel Air sits right in the middle of that golden era. This one is finished in bright red with a black interior, and honestly, it sounds like somebody already spent a lot of money modernizing the important stuff. Under the hood is a new 350 crate engine paired with a turbo 400 automatic transmission. That's a great combo. Reliable, easy to work on, plenty of torque, and parts are everywhere. But the upgrades don't stop there. This car also has power steering, power brakes, rack and pinion steering, tubular control arms, MSD ignition, dual exhaust, and a B&M shifter. So basically, this isn't just some old floaty 50s cruiser anymore. It sounds like somebody wanted this thing to actually drive well. And honestly, that's probably smart. A lot of original late 50s American cars look amazing, but driving them can sometimes feel vague and disconnected compared to modern traffic. Upgrades like rack and pinion steering can totally transform the driving experience. The seller also mentions all new interior work, and if the craftsmanship matches the description, that alone can save a future owner a massive amount of money. Interior restoration costs on these cars add up fast, really fast. And then you've got the Cragger wheels with BF Goodrich tires. That combination just screams old-school hot rod culture. It gives the car a slightly more aggressive street machine personality without ruining the classic styling. What I like most about this Bel Air is that it sounds usable. Not trailer queen usable, actually usable. The seller specifically says it drives really nice, and honestly, that's exactly what you want to hear on a car like this. Because if you're buying a 58 Chevy, you probably want to roll the windows down, cruise through town, pull into local car meets, and just enjoy the experience. And let's be honest, nothing pulls attention at a gas station quite like a bright red 1958 Chevrolet. These cars have presence. Huge presence. Car number 2, 1965 Chevrolet El Camino, $18,000, Keene, New Hampshire. Now here's something that perfectly captures why Americans have always loved weird car and truck combinations, the 1965 Chevrolet El Camino. And honestly, these things have gotten way cooler over the years. Back in the day, they were work vehicles. Today, they've become collectibles with personality. This one is finished in Tahitian turquoise, and that color alone probably sells half the car. That bright turquoise paint absolutely screams mid-60s Americana. You can instantly picture this thing parked near a beach, sitting outside an old diner, or cruising through a small town on a summer evening. According to the seller, this El Camino is a Western car and very solid with no rust. That's huge. Rust is the biggest enemy on old classics, especially utility-based vehicles like El Caminos that were often used hard. So hearing that it stayed out west most of its life is definitely reassuring. Power comes from a 283 V8 paired with an automatic transmission. Nothing crazy, nothing overbuilt, just a classic small-block Chevy setup that's known for reliability and smooth cruising. It also has power steering, power brakes, dual exhaust, an Edelbrock intake, and a new carburetor. So again, you've got a nice balance here between originality and drivability. The seller also mentions original dealer paperwork and the Protecto plate. That's actually really cool. Those little historical documents add character to a car and help tell its story. Collectors love that stuff because it creates a stronger connection to the vehicle's past. Another unique detail is the color-matched rear shell cover. That gives this El Camino a really clean, custom look while still fitting the period. And honestly, 18 grand for a solid running rust-free El Camino in a great color feels pretty reasonable right now. These things have become increasingly popular because they fit into multiple worlds at once. Classic car, cruiser, mini truck, conversation piece. And the best part is,
Everybody smiles when they see one. There's just something fun about El Caminos. They don't take themselves too seriously.
Car number 3. (1966) Corvette Roadster, $59,000, Billerica, Massachusetts. And finally, we've got the heavyweight of today's lineup, a 1966 Corvette Roadster. Now, for a lot of people, this generation right here, the C2 Corvette, is peak American sports car design. And honestly, it's hard to argue against that. The proportions are beautiful, the fenders are aggressive, the cockpit feels compact and purposeful. And with the top down, these cars still look absolutely stunning nearly 60 years later. According to the listing, this one is powered by a 327 V8. And even though the seller says it's non-matching numbers, that may not matter much depending on what the buyer actually wants. Because not everybody is shopping for a fully numbers-matching investment car. Some people just want the experience of owning and driving a mid-60s Corvette. And honestly, that experience is special no matter what. The seller says the car runs and drives fine, all gauges work, and it has a new convertible top, new tires, and a new battery. That's all good news. Because little things on vintage Corvettes can become expensive surprisingly fast. Electrical repairs, interior components, trim pieces, convertible hardware, it all adds up. So having a functional driver already sorted in those areas is definitely valuable. And let's be real for a second. There's something timeless about a C2 Corvette Roadster. Even people who don't care about cars usually stop and look when one drives by. These cars sit low, they sound incredible, and they represent an era when American performance cars had real personality. The mid-60s were basically the beginning of the horsepower wars in America. Manufacturers were competing aggressively, and Chevrolet absolutely knew the Corvette needed to feel like something special. And it did. A 327-powered four-wheel independent suspension sports car in 1966 was legitimately impressive engineering for its time. Even today, these cars still feel mechanical and connected in a way modern vehicles sometimes don't. You hear everything, you feel everything, and every drive feels like an event. At $59,000, this is obviously the most expensive car in today's group. But honestly, compared to where C2 Corvette prices have been historically, it still might attract attention. Especially for somebody who wants a driver-quality roadster instead of a six-figure trailer queen. And if you ask me, classics are always more fun when they actually get driven. Car number 4.
(1964) Pontiac GTO convertible, $48,000, Pemberville, Ohio. Now, this next car is historically important because many people consider the 1964 Pontiac GTO to be the car that truly launched the muscle car era. And this one? This one sounds seriously cool. It's a burgundy convertible with a black interior, a 4-speed manual transmission, and a tri-power setup. That combination alone already sounds incredible. For anyone unfamiliar, tri-power means 3 two-barrel carburetors sitting on top of the engine. And visually, it's one of the coolest engine setups ever installed on a classic American car. According to the seller, this car originally started life as a Pontiac Le Mans before receiving the full GTO option package during restoration. And while purists may debate that kind of conversion, the overall build sounds extremely well thought out. Power comes from a rebuilt 1966 GTO 389 engine, paired with the tri-power setup. And honestly, the 389 is legendary in Pontiac circles. These engines had huge torque, great sound, and helped define early muscle car culture in America. The seller says the engine has 170 psi compression across all cylinders, which is actually a pretty reassuring detail. That tells you somebody took the time to properly check the health of the engine, instead of just making vague claims. The restoration itself sounds extensive. New interior, new convertible top, fresh repaint completed in April 2026. Power steering, front disc brakes, factory-style console, in-dash tachometer, retro stereo, torque thrust wheels, dual Flowmaster exhaust. That's a strong package. And honestly, a 4-speed convertible GTO already sounds like an event before you even start the engine. Imagine driving this thing on a warm summer evening with the top down, hearing that tri-power induction noise every time you hit the throttle. That's the kind of experience modern cars just can't replicate. Another thing I appreciate is how detailed the seller's description is. Private collectors who know their cars usually write descriptions like this: specific, confident, and full of technical details. That gives buyers a little more confidence. And from a historical perspective, first-year GTOs will always have significance. Whether you call it the first true muscle car or not, the GTO changed the industry. It proved that people wanted midsize cars with big engines and real performance. And once Pontiac succeeded, everybody else followed. That's history right there.
Car number 5, 1965 Chevrolet Chevelle SS Malibu, $52,500, Farmingdale, New York. Now, this is one of those cars that feels almost too clean. A real 1965 Chevrolet Chevelle SS Malibu. And according to the seller, this thing underwent a full frame-off restoration. That's the kind of phrase buyers love hearing, because frame-off restorations are serious projects. That means the body was separated from the chassis so everything could be restored properly. That takes time, money, patience, and attention to detail. This one is finished in blue and powered by a 283 V8 backed by a Powerglide automatic transmission. Now, some people may wish it had a bigger engine, but honestly, not every classic needs massive horsepower. A smooth-running small-block Chevelle can still be an amazing cruiser. And the seller specifically says the car runs and drives excellent. That's important, because sometimes ultra-restored cars look incredible but drive terribly. This one sounds sorted. The description also mentions working air conditioning. That may not sound exciting at first, but if you've ever driven an old muscle car in the summer, you know how valuable that is, especially in traffic. The dash and gauges have been restored, the stereo system has been upgraded, and the interior is described as flawless. And honestly, when a seller confidently says there are no disappointments here, they're setting a pretty high expectation. The seller also claims the car is always a show winner without even trying. And honestly, I can believe it. Mid-60s Chevelles have timeless styling. They're clean, balanced, and muscular without looking over-designed. The real SS cars especially continue to attract collectors because Chevrolet produced a lot of clones over the years, so authenticity matters. And one line in the description really stood out to me: try restoring it for less. Honestly, that's probably true. Restoration costs today are absolutely insane. Paintwork alone can easily hit 5 figures, so buying a completed turnkey car often makes way more financial sense than trying to build one yourself from scratch, especially if the work was done correctly. This sounds like the kind of car you buy if you want something polished, reliable, and ready to enjoy immediately.
All right, which one are you taking home? Drop your favorite in the comments, because honestly, this might be one of the strongest groups of classic cars we've looked at in a while. And if you enjoy real classic American cars like these, make sure you stick around for the next video, because there are still a lot of hidden deals out there people are missing. Don't forget to like and subscribe. and I'll see you in the next one.